That's my mama. She's an eternal optimist, and she's always leaving me messages, hooping and hollering and saying, "Whoop, life's just a bowl of cherries."
She built an empire on female empowerment. She stood on red carpets, gave TED Talk-style interviews, and painted herself as Hollywood's voice for resilience. But what if the woman who claimed to be saving others was secretly tearing people down behind the scenes? This is the story of how Blake Lively's empire crumbled, how her mother became the villain, how Taylor Swift walked away, and how a courtroom scandal turned a feminist fairy tale into a cautionary horror story. You think you know the story? You don't. It started with a name buried in legal paperwork: Elaine Lively. Sweet, supportive, ever optimistic Eleanor. Blake's mom was exposed in court as the alleged mastermind behind a full-blown sabotage operation targeting Justin Baldoni. The judge reportedly exploded in rage. Why? Because the documents linked her to everything: false witnesses, forged evidence, blackmail attempts, even impersonating legal counsel. We're not talking about bad advice from a stage mom. We're talking full-blown conspiracy. And the moment that name was read aloud in court, the entire room shifted. Even the judge, who's seen it all, was visibly shaken. But that was just the beginning of a scandal no one saw coming. While Blake Lively delivered empowerment monologues at Hollywood galas, her mother was allegedly coaching her in how to smear her co-star.
But my mom, I think, is a very confident person, and so for me, yeah, I sort of struggled with that because I've sometimes judged her for being so confident.
In public, Blake called her mother a survivor. In private, they were accused of manufacturing PR attacks and blackmail threats. She spoke about healing while her legal team quietly rigged witness statements. She wore designer gowns, while courtroom reports claimed her family tried to manipulate metadata and plant stories in gossip blogs. This wasn't empowerment, it was emotional manipulation in a ball gown. And if you thought that was bold, just wait until you hear what she did to Taylor Swift. According to Puck News and leaked court documents, Blake allegedly tried to force Taylor Swift into supporting her during the lawsuit, not by asking, not by begging, by threatening. She reportedly said, "Help me or I leak 10 years worth of private texts." That's not just betrayal, that's nuclear. And where did the receipts come from? Taylor's own father, Scott Swift. He handed everything to Justin Baldoni's legal team, including the timeline, screenshots, and private messages. Taylor didn't clap back publicly. She didn't post a song lyric or a subtle shade. She just disappeared. No Instagram likes, no Spotify playlist hints, just silence. Insiders claim she told friends, "I wish I'd never met her." That's Taylor-level heartbreak. The kind that ends up in a Grammy-winning ballad and quietly destroys your entire career. And she wasn't the only one to ghost Blake. Gigi Hadid, Cara Delevingne, and Sophie Turner? Gone. But the Swifties weren't the only ones with receipts. Once the blackmail story hit the web, Blake's business empire nosedived. Her beauty brand, projected to hit $100 million, but instead barely scraped $15 million. Betty Booze, her celeb drink line, ended up getting quietly dumped onto Carnival Cruises. Even there, it underperformed, because apparently, even drunk cruise passengers would rather sip Bud Light than support Blake Lively. Retailers pulled out, over 40 of them, not because of poor sales, because of reputational risk. That's PR speak for "you're too messy to touch." Meanwhile, fans were printing Deposition Tour 2025 shirts. A TikTok went viral with mock tickets to watch her grilled live on stage. Her legal meltdown had officially become a fan event. Even her marriage wasn't safe from the wreckage. Ryan Reynolds, Blake's husband and Hollywood golden boy, got dragged into the chaos through a bizarre twist: animation. Justin Baldoni's team alleged that Ryan used a Disney Plus film to mock Justin. They claimed the character Nice Pool, a manipulative, soft-spoken antagonist, was modeled after Baldoni, and that Disney helped stream it worldwide. Ryan, the neutral husband, suddenly looked like a creative accomplice. And when Blake's legal team pushed for Ryan's witness immunity, Brian Friedman, their opponent, flatly refused. Instead, he accused Ryan of helping to defame Baldoni under the cover of satire. At this point, the courtroom wasn't just a legal battlefield, it was Hollywood Hunger Games. And if you thought it couldn't get more theatrical, just wait. One of Blake's central emotional abuse claims involved a now infamous cow comment. The narrative: Justin body-shamed her. The truth: it was a gym safety remark from a trainer who asked her weight before a stunt. A basic lift check turned into a body-shaming scandal. Surveillance footage showed no hostility, no raised voices, nothing but a production set doing its job. Yet Blake's team wrote filings drenched in language like felt targeted and unsure atmosphere. Critics called it Hollywood litigation theater. That's generous. This wasn't a lawsuit. It was a PR script wrapped in designer buzzwords, but behind it all was a secret strategy even crazier than the public drama. Courtroom insiders say Eleanor Lively ran something called Operation Redemption. It was allegedly a covert campaign to leak emotionally manipulative essays to feminist blogs right before court hearings. The goal? Distract the public with trauma narratives while deflecting from the real evidence. She even brought in a forensic tech team to manipulate video metadata, trying to make it seem like Baldoni was aggressive in rehearsal footage when he wasn't. And when a production assistant refused to lie under oath, Eleanor allegedly threatened to expose his immigration status unless he complied. This wasn't soft parenting. It was mob-level intimidation. And just when it seemed over, the mother-daughter duo faced their biggest threat yet. Retailers? Gone. Friends? Gone. Even her own marriage is reportedly on the rocks. Sources say separation lawyers are already on retainer. But the real nail in the coffin? Brian Friedman. He didn't just argue the case. He cooked. He challenged Blake to do her deposition live at Madison Square Garden. All ticket sales and streams would be donated to domestic violence survivors. Suddenly, Blake's voice for the voiceless persona fell apart. Her lawyer called it theatrical harassment. But the public saw the truth. Over 120,000 people said they'd pay to watch. The hypocrisy was too thick to ignore. Meanwhile, Blake's team pushed a parade of mystery witnesses, yet no one showed up. Not one. The entire case began to look like smoke, mirrors, and recycled trauma with zero receipts. And behind all of it, the one constant, Eleanor. Reports suggest her digital fingerprints are on sealed emails, fake evidence, planted stories, and ghost witnesses. She didn't just support her daughter, she allegedly orchestrated a defamation campaign from start to finish. It's no longer Blake's fall, it's Eleanor's legacy. So, let's recap. Blake Lively didn't just fall from grace. She handed her mom a match, lit her brand on fire, and called it empowerment. She burned bridges. She betrayed friends. She dragged Ryan, Taylor, Disney, and anyone close enough to touch. Now she's left with plummeting sales, a collapsing marriage, and a courtroom stacked with more evidence than allies. And the question everyone's asking isn't if Blake will lose this lawsuit, it's whether Eleanor Lively will face criminal charges next. Because if impersonating legal counsel, forging evidence, and blackmailing witnesses doesn't count as obstruction, what does? This isn't just a Hollywood scandal, it's a masterclass in self-destruction, and we're watching every frame in HD. What do you think, was this courage or calculated chaos? Let us know in the comments. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned, because if this case isn't over yet, the next chapter might be the wildest one yet.